Hey everybody. Well, I'm just about ready to bottle the Weizen beer, Bavarian wheat beer. Got my bottling bucket all sanitized and bottles all washed and sanitized. Got my prime and sugar, bottle caps. We're about ready to go. And of course, home brew. Can't bottle beer without a home brew. That's one of my newest ones. That's my summertime lawnmower ale. Um, just a couple of ounces of Cascade and mostly just 2 row. But anyways, before I get to my bottling here, I wanted to real quick tell you, first, welcome to Southern Brewing 2015. My name is Jeff, and I'm going to call this video series the Deep South Hop Project. Being a home brewer, I'm always in the pursuit of making the hoppiest beer I can. Not necessarily the bitterest beer, but hop flavor, hop aroma, and nothing beats a fresh hop beer. I mean, picking them off the vines and into the brew. Now, it's pretty hard to do for most home brewers, unless, of course, you grow your own hops. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Last year, I bought some hop rhizomes and got them planted in 3-gallon buckets in May of last year on a piece of property that we have over in southeast Bulloch County, about 25 miles west of Savannah, right off of I-16. But we grew them into pots last year. I got over a pound of Cascade and Nugget hops that I tossed in by the handfuls for 10 minutes at the end of the boil. Great beer. One of the best beers I've ever made. I mean, you just can't get those grassy and herbaceous flavor and all that kind of stuff going on. You don't get that real green quality unless you're using fresh hops. And so that's what I'm doing. And now we're into our second year. We've got everything out of the pots into the ground. And for the most part, everything is really looking good. So, without talking about it anymore, let's head out to the hop field. I will see you there. South Hop Cheers. Project, our little experiment in whether hops can be grown successfully in South Georgia. All right, so let's get out here and take a look. In the first little section of the video, I did mention that we'd gotten some bad dirt. All the dirt that I've used for these row mounds came from right here. There are various piles of it here and there that people have dug holes on this property for eons. And but the dirt that I took from this pile, put here, not real good. It was very low pH and real low in nitrogen. So I've been working to build that back up. But they're all surviving. They'll be better next year. I'll amend all the soil. So these are all Cascade there. And when we walk down the same line, and you can, here's one of the poles that we put in that goes up to our overhead cable. And I'll just follow this back around. You can see there's the big trees that I tied everything off to. And you can also see the water tank there. This is where I pump the water into, and then I run the water out of that tank into garden hose that I put drip emitters in. And here we'll just do a little close up here. See, there, drip emitter. And then all I do is just turn on the faucet and let gravity take control, and I put all of my fertilizer and everything into that tank and just let it drip on out. All right, so then we get into good dirt. As a matter of fact, all the dirt that I used in the rest of the field is much better, although I've still been working on amending it. So these are Cascade, and unlike that first little section, these are all up to the wire.
I don't know how well you can see the hop cones hanging on the ones up at the wire. I'll try to come in close here. Lost our sun a little bit, but you can see this has got a fair amount of hops on it. So our first year, I had the wire, I had all the poles in, but I didn't have any of these row mounds. We had 3-gallon pots and sat them up on top of concrete blocks to try to isolate them from the ground, and then I had them all wrapped in straw and tie back and create a little insulator around them so they wouldn't lose quite so much moisture every day. You know, a few more with lots of good hops all over it up to the wire. And that's what we did the first year. And by the end of the first year growing season, all those pots were absolutely root bound. And so we got them into the row mounds late last year. And most of them came back. I lost 2 of them. I mentioned 4 on the side of the house. Well, it grew. By the time I ordered the rhizomes from Blue Ridge Hops, I believe I got 30 rhizomes and cut a number of them in half that were quite large, and ended up with a little over 40, but we lost some in the first year, and now we've lost another 2 this year. But, I really expected to lose a lot more than that. All right, so this row here is Nugget. And the Nugget ran way behind the Cascade last year, and for the most part, they're doing the same thing again. There's a couple of Nugget here that have reached up to the wire and have hop cones on them. And I will say that all of the hop cones this year are much bigger than hop cones last year. I've gone through and trimmed off all of the lower leaves. One of the big problems with growing hops down here, funguses and bugs. And the sooner that I can get those lower leaves clipped off because it gets real thick with leaves and sprouts down at the bottom, and you've just got to, once you get enough vines growing up the lines, then you really got to start clipping everything off, because it gets such a massive amount of leaves and shoots coming up at the bottom that fungus just can get in there so quickly and start attacking the plant. Plus, it's a great haven for bugs. I really haven't had a lot of problem with either fungus or bugs this year, but the last week here, we've had some really intense heat. It's been high 90s, and you can see discoloration on the leaves that really got stressed out in that heat. But that's one of the things about growing the hops down here is taking into account that it's going to be some hot days. All right, so there we are. We got 2 rows. We've got the Cascade on the right. We've got the Nugget on the left. And I'm thinking it's probably still going to be several weeks before a harvest. Considering we've got some that just aren't doing as well as last year, even though we've got others that, like these Cascade here on the right, that are doing even better than last year. I'm not really sure I'm going to get that much more hops out of it. But what I was told is that typically down here you'll end up with a dual harvest, because what'll happen is eventually, and there are a couple of them here. Let's walk back up to these Cascade. They'll start doing branching like this. You can see that it's doing it here as well. And once these branches pop out and get out there, then they'll start forming new flowers, and you'll get another crop of hop cones off of it. So although it probably won't come all at once, That'd be great, though. We'll get 2 really great brews out of it. And I kind of thought this second year we might have enough to work a collaboration with Eagle Creek Brewing to try to do a fresh hop beer, but I don't know. It doesn't look like we're really gonna end up with enough to try to make that happen. But hey, the plants don't even reach maturity until really into their 4th year at least. So I'm still very hopeful that we'll get some really big harvest out of this eventually. All right, I'm going to wrap up this video right now, and what I'm going to do is I took a lot of videos last year when everything was in pots, and I have shot some videos out here this year as well to show the progress. So they're mostly very short, 3, 4, maybe 5-minute clips. So I'll see if I can't string a few of those together and start putting out some videos on the hops and talk a little bit more about how I got started and exactly what I did with it and how we got to where we are now and where we hope to be going. All right, everybody. I appreciate you watching, and I will be back soon with some new videos. So have a great Saturday, and cheers.